Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the real United States. Welcome again to Cumberland, Maryland. Now, if you saw our previous episode, we were talking about the National Road and mile marker 0. Well, located in this park, in Cumberland Park here in Cumberland, Maryland, is George Washington's headquarters. So we just had to do this while we were on location. Now, it's a little interesting because one sign says one thing and a bronze plaque says another. But essentially what I can gather is in the late 1740s, around 1748, George Washington came to this area, and he was a land surveyor. He also was an adjutant officer to General Braddock, a colonel as I understand it, and served from here between 1755 and 1758. He then was here again in 1794. So this apparently was a place that played quite a significant role in George Washington's life during a very, very critical developmental period in our history. So it's a little one-room cabin. There is a stone fireplace inside. The place is locked and I don't have access to it. And I don't think we can film through the window, but if I looked inside, there's a large stone fireplace. It's a single room. There is a bed, which I understand was at the time that he was here, was a straw bed, which on one occasion caught a fire while he was asleep. I can't imagine how that happened. So it might have been from an ember from the fire, or it might have been from him smoking. I don't know. I don't even know if Washington smoked. At any rate, he managed to survive the fire and go on to lead our nation as president. Now, you can see this, a very small, very crude cabin. I'm guessing that it's no more than about 12 by 12 or 15 by 15 feet. It's a very small structure, so there's no more than about 100, we're gonna say about 150 square feet inside of this living quarters. Now, again, we are very, very close to the Potomac River, which of course would have been absolutely essential for transportation in the early 1800s. Although it's not very large up this far, we're about 150 miles by river upstream from Washington, D.C. But it is still navigable by the canoes and small vessels that would have been available in the day. So a very cool piece of Americana. For those of you who have traveled through the northeastern United States, you have to have encountered all these signs, and they were encampments where Washington and his troops stayed, and the sign typically says George Washington slept here. So, and usually those are places where his troops encamped. They're very, very common up through New England, and obviously this would qualify, although I didn't see a sign specifically that said George Washington slept here. Obviously, it said he had a bed here and it caught a fire while he was asleep, so it's implied. But it's a cute little cabin. It's been well preserved. This is, as I understand it, the actual original cabin from the mid-1700s, so pretty old by American standards for a dwelling, and certainly for a wood structure. I'm kind of amazed that it's still standing. But there's a bronze plaque that was dedicated back in 1921. Apparently whoever owned this piece of property at the time donated to the local municipality, and they put this bronze plaque on the front, so kind of a nice thing. And it's a beautiful little park, but it is very small. And one of the things that if you if you find that you want to come visit this, be cautious. Not a lot of parking. There is a parking lot about a block and a half away, which is permit parking. You got to go and pay for the parking and find a place to park, and then you can walk down here. But there isn't like public parking like you would expect in most parks in the United States. But it's really a beautiful little place. Obviously, we've got Interstate 68 about 100 feet from me, which was the National Road, and a main highway that goes into the city of Cumberland right here, so there's a lot of ambient noise. I apologize for that, but it is still a very, very quaint setting. I love this sort of Americana. So I want to thank you for joining us here on The Real United States in Cumberland, Maryland at George Washington's headquarters. I hope you've enjoyed this short visit. I hope you'll pick subscribe and join us for future adventures if you haven't already. If you got questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. We love hearing from all of you. We try to get back to everybody we can. And as always, thank you for watching.